Here is how I made 125K in my design business. I hate it when designers complain and say they can't generate income from their freelance business because it is actually possible to earn 6 figures as a brand designer and content creator. Now make sure you watch to the end because I'm gonna break down the different categories of where the income is coming from. I'm gonna give you 5 key ways that have helped me and my business generate 6 figures, and I'm gonna make it as practical as possible and just be honest and transparent. I'm always about, just being real and telling you what's worked for me. There's plenty of methods out there. There's plenty of ways to make money online. And there's so many side hustles, but you got to do what's right for you. I'm just going to share some things that I've implemented in my business and has helped me over the last 5 to 10 years. Number one is don't leave your eggs all in one basket. You want to be more sporadic. You want to put many eggs in different baskets. You don't just want to have everything all on one platform. You don't want to just create content on Instagram or just on YouTube or just on Twitter. You want to have multiple income streams, because in reality, if you just have one active income stream, it could be a 9-to-5 job, and you lose that job, your income is basically depleted. You're not going to have any income coming in. And so one of the things I learned early on is that you become a millionaire and you build wealth by having many income streams. And the key is you want to have one active stream where you personally work. It could be a service, it could be selling a product, maybe you design some software, whatever it is. You have one active stream. Then what you want to do is you want to have 3 to 5 other streams that is called passive or leveraged income. I believe that, passive income is not really passive because you actually have to put in the work up front before it starts generating income long term. The only thing that is truly passive is like if you put money in, say, the S&P 500 or stocks and you let it sit there for years, and that actually, pays dividends and increases in value over time. And so for me personally, one of the great streams that I have is using Skillshare. And so I teach design courses and I teach beginner designers how to be a brand designer, how to do logos, how to freelance. And when I realized this was a great stream for me, I doubled down on it. When you find something that's working for you, what you want to do is you want to double down on it. You want to invest more time, energy, and resources into that stream to, increase the income and make it more efficient. And so for me personally, I currently have 7 streams. I've had more in the past, running a membership, and I also have some investments, in stock and crypto and stuff like that. But my main streams are, number one is design services. So I help clients with branding. I do video courses on Skillshare, as I said. I also make money from YouTube AdSense. I also do brand deals. So when I work with the brand, they sponsor some content. I also have products that I'm an affiliate with. So I get paid commission based on the referrals I send to their website. And I also do one-on-one coaching, helping, designers, freelancers, and content creators, get better and grow their business. So I'm super blessed and I'm thankful to God that I have 7 streams. Obviously I can increase it. Not everyone has the luxury of having many streams, but I've built it over the past, 10 years, being a freelancer, working, building content, creating my audience, and, starting and putting videos on YouTube. And so having this ability, it allows me to be more flexible. It allows me to increase my skill sets as well. Now, point number 2 is you need to niche down and have hyper focus, because when you try and communicate too many things or try and do too many things and your message is unclear, you're going to confuse your audience. When a client, jumps on your website and it says, I'm an illustrator, I'm a video editor, I coach YouTube channels, or I'm a brand designer for all type of brands, then you're just going to confuse the potential client or prospect and they're going to bounce off your site. And so one of the things I've learned is that I niche down as a logo and brand identity designer. Obviously, I do content strategy, a bit of content design. I also do, brand strategy as well, but that's within my packages. But my main voice that I project and my main offering is that I do brand identity for digital brands. And so I believe it's super important that you develop your expertise in one area. You need to stay in your lane. If you try and come into other people's lanes and try and do too many things, you're not gonna get the results that you want. There's a proverb out there that says, if you chase 3 foxes, you'll end up not catching any. But if you chase 1 fox, you'll end up catching that fox. So don't try and chase too many things, too many paths. Try and find your path early on and niche down and focus so you can become known for something. Because you gotta understand, it's all about building your reputation. People buy from who they know, like, and trust. And if you are not trustworthy, if people think you're not legit, they're not going to buy your service. They're not going to buy your product. And so you need to think about how I can focus, be clear on my offering, be clear on my messaging, my voice, and in my content, and know who you're targeting. And so there's a really great proverb, Proverbs 22. It says, a good reputation and respect are worth much more than silver and gold. So your reputation is worth more than money, because if you have a great reputation and people talk about you and people trust you and people refer you to people, then money will be a byproduct, because you are always delivering value and your reputation is in a high standard and people know you. So make sure you invest in building your reputation. Now, before I go on to tip number 3, you might be wondering, how do I stay organized with all these projects and with all these income streams, doing client work and doing products? Well, I have a system, and that system is my freelance Notion tracker. And so I have a dashboard. It also has a finance tracker. It's also got a content dashboard as well to help you stay on track with content. And so if you do want to grab that, you can check it out. I'll put a link in the description below and also in the card. Check it out. It's on my website. Just go jeremymura.com/store and you can grab it on there for $49. And it's going to help you out when running your business. Now, number 3 is actually invest in high value skills. Being a creative person, being a designer, running my own business, I'm always investing in myself. Jim Rohn said, your income rarely exceeds the level of personal development. So you need to always invest in yourself. What you put in is going to ultimately reflect what is the output. Because if I put in junk food into my body is going to decay and rot, and it's not going to be able to process that McDonald's I just ate, or maybe you like Hungry Jacks, I don't know. And so you need to put healthy food, right? So I have more energy from eating, fruits or an animal-based diet, and meat and protein and healthy foods. And that's going to help me have more energy, have more clarity, and my body is just going to function a lot better, right? So it's the same thing with your skills and your mindset. You need to invest in coaching, in masterminds, in academies, in courses, in books. And I've done this over and over again. Every year, I'm constantly investing in myself. You can see all these books that I haven't read. I still got some on the side there, but I haven't read yet. And so I'm always constantly gaining knowledge and then applying that knowledge, right? But I always want to be relevant. I always want to be learning, because a wise man invests in himself. So he's always ahead of the game. He's always 3 steps ahead of the competition. And so if you become a person of value, then you will always attract opportunities. Miles Monroe always used to say this. He used to say, become a man of value and you'll attract money.
If you become valuable to the world will pay you to be yourself.
And so money will become a byproduct because you are a person that provides value to society. You also serve others through your skills. So what you want to do is try and find 3 overlapping skill sets that complement each other. So for example, I can do brand design, I can also do web design, and I'm also great at video editing, so I can do content videos or YouTube videos. And so these skills all connect with each other because it's all connected to the digital age. It's all connected to creative economy, into branding and design, and social media, and it's all connected. And so they feed off each other. Think of 3 skills that you can think of. It could be illustration, it could be brand strategy, it could be coding, whatever it is. Try and find skills that overlap and always invest in yourself. And don't be scared to, pay $500 for a course, because you might know a lot of that information by watching free YouTube videos like I've done in the past. But sometimes when you pay for a well thought out course and well researched, you're going to get some gold nuggets that will change how you operate your business. And it's going to ultimately impact your income in the long run. So make sure you always invest in yourself. Number 4 is attracting high paying clients. For me personally, my strategy was always to attract clients and not try and reach out to them. Early on when I was starting it as a junior, I would reach out to studios, try and get little jobs or try and get clients or try and get internships. But a lot of the time I would get rejected. I would always get no or even no response, right? And so for me, I learned to create a content system and a content machine that helps me attract clients. And the way you do that is by consistently having a schedule where you post, 3 to 5 times a week on Instagram or YouTube or whatever platform you choose. It could be multiple platforms. But for me, I've really focused on YouTube and Instagram. And so I would aim to post as much as I could on those platforms and talk about things I knew. I got a bachelor in design. I studied for design. And so everything I learned in college and everything I learned from using Adobe programs and YouTube, I actually just taught that. And so one of the principles that I did learn is that you need to teach everything you know. Once I learned this principle, I implemented it in my business, because when you teach what you know, you will solidify the information in your mind, but it also positions you as an authority. It positions you as a credible source of information, and it shows people that you know what you're talking about, that you're a professional because you're the one teaching it on social media and you're sharing skills and things like that. And so for me, it's helped build my audience, it's helped build my credibility and my authority in the industry. And that's why I'm able to generate so many leads, generate so many opportunities and clients, because I create valuable, high value content that attracts my audience to me. And you got to remember, it goes back to reputation. Everything is a reflection of you. For me, it's super important to, have great messaging, have great design on my website, on my social media presence. I try and make it the best I can, designing great graphics, making it very professional, and it reflects back on my personality and my quality. And so when people see my content, it's like, oh, this guy is excellent, creates great content. So most likely he can help me, create a great brand for my business, So it's all about the perception, how people perceive you. And so if you want to attract high paying clients, you need to build a content machine. And for me, one of the strategies that I did implement is that I actually just focused on organic. I didn't really do many ads. I've only tried ads for when I was, promoting my Mura Academy membership. But apart from that, everything has been organic and it's worked for me, because you don't want to invest so much money into ads and then, you get stuck in this cycle of having to spend, and then you have high expenses. And that's why you see a lot of these entrepreneurs now, they pay, 50 grand for a social media team to create, edit their content, post their content. Number 5 is your network. The quality of your network ultimately determines the quality of your opportunities. And so what I've realized is that for me personally, I love investing in people, because at the end of the day, we deal business with people and not brands, right? And so I always believe in focusing on relationships, not algorithms, because algorithms is based on AI, on code and data. And so it's constantly changing and evolving. Whereas people don't change. Humans have their, needs, their desires. And so if you rather focus on building relationships with high value people, it could be business owners, CEOs, entrepreneurs, people that create content on YouTube, people in your industry. If you try and focus on building relationships with them, most likely they will always refer you jobs, or they'll get you connected with someone or a client they can't take on, they're too busy. And so I've gotten so many jobs that way by just having friends who are designers and brand strategists. They always help me out when I need help or I need to ask them something. It's a win-win situation because sometimes I send clients their way as well. So try and build relationships. For me, what I do is actually get on calls with people. I usually interact on their social media. I'll DM them, I'll follow them, I'll like their content, not just for the sake of liking it, but just because I actually like what they're doing. And I'll say, hey, let's connect, let's jump on a Zoom call, and have a quick chat. And usually that's how I start to build my network, by getting on these calls, just chatting, not trying to beg for anything, not trying to be desperate and trying to pick their brain. I'm just literally trying to meet them just to connect and start a friendship. That's really it. And see how I can help them in any way. I might be able to give some advice or share some tools or give some tips or whatever it is, right? And so focus on building your network and building relationships. And there's one important rule that I want to talk about, is the rule of reciprocity. And the rule of reciprocity is all about when you give, most likely that will come back to you. And so there was a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it was like a religious organization. They used to go out and give leaflets or a free flower on the streets when they were trying to, evangelize. And so the rule of reciprocity, when they would used to give that free object, the person receiving the gift felt obliged to give something back. And so they would give donations. Even though they didn't really want to give it to that organization, they just felt the need just by receiving the gift. So the rule of reciprocity can be applied to your business. It's the same thing with content. When I give free content, because it's so valuable and, some people usually would pay for that knowledge, that person feels like, wow, I want to respond back to Jeremy or respond back to you by buying a course or buying this template to support him. And so that's a rule of reciprocity. And so those are the 5 ways that I personally have made 125K in the last financial year. And I'll quickly show you the breakdown on where the actual money came from. So you can see here, the financial year is usually from like June to June. And that's how it works in Australia. I don't know if it's similar in other countries, but basically you can see most of it. So about like 50 to 60% came from Skillshare. So my Skillshare courses, that's really great. I also did a lot of brand collabs over, 2021 and 2022, which is really cool. So 20 grand there. Design client services. You can see about 4 grand came from design client services. So I did a couple logos. I did mostly brand collabs last year. But yeah, Mura Academy, you can see as well. So when I was teaching, I was coaching, I was group coaching with the designers. That was really cool. Returns, some credit things, interest, and then government grants, which was super cool. So that was 25,000. But if we calculate it still without the grand, it was over 100 grand, which is great. YouTube AdSense, 10,000, which is super awesome. And then affiliate income, 3,000. That's pretty awesome. So I do promote a few plugins and stuff, which is awesome. Digital products, so like some of my template packs. And then Udemy as well. Some of my courses are on there. So there you have it. Those are the categories. That's where it came from. So you can see I'm super blessed, super thankful. That's how I'm able to make 6 figures a year. Let me know if this video was helpful. Let me know if you want me to do a further breakdown on how I actually spent the income that I make and what I spent it on. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that video. Really appreciate it. If you want more videos just like this, smash that like button and subscribe because it does help me out. Now, if you do want to see a video on how to actually charge for your logo design services, then click on this video here to check out that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll chat to you next time.